This is Business and Economy Network.
Hello viewers, glad to know you're watching your program. Those of you watching us all around the world, those in Abuja, Port Harcourt, Ilori, Kano, Kaduna, I want to say thank you so very much. This is your program. This is Business and Economy Network. I want to say happy belated 55th birthday anniversary to all Nigerians and Nigeria as a nation. I want to say thank God on behalf of everybody and our leaders. And again, wherever you're watching, as a Nigerian, let us keep praying for those in leadership position of our nation. I want to say thank you so very much. You are watching Business and Economy Network. My name is Remain Peter Moche. Well, today's episode we target a special edition because we're looking at Nigeria under 55. A child that's gotten to 55 must have mustered the storm, the challenges and all that. And on the program rundown today, we have the president of this Federal Republic of Nigeria and the president of President Muhammadu Buhari. He's going to give us an insight on the agriculture sector and industrial sector. We are looking at Nigeria and beyond the oil and gas. Recently, you know that crude oil has gradually actually fallen flat, and we cannot begin to look at oil. Let us try and see how we can diversify. That's going to be the thrust of the program today. It's going to be an interesting watch. Relax, brace yourself up. It's going to be incisive, informative, and you're going to enjoy it. I'll be back after this time out. Don't touch that.
And will give priority to the roads because of the way they affect the economy, especially link roads, roads to the rural areas and so on, where food stuff is brought to the urban areas, where people move either to work and back. So there is a lot of work to be done. We have three fundamental problems in Nigeria. One, insecurity. Two, unemployment, the damage done to the economy. As I have just mentioned, only one part of it, the petroleum industry. Three, corruption. In all the 35 states and the town hall meeting I had in Lagos, in Kano, in Abuja, I emphasized these 3 points. I could not recall any group or any individual disagreeing with me in identifying these fundamental issues. Now, these are issues that will certainly take time, but we thought of agriculture and mining will help, the new government to quickly provide job for everybody unemployed, and we will give that a lot of priority because insecurity and unemployment and corruption is such a vicious circle that it has to be broken. If you have insecurity, it will affect employment. Look at the schools closed in the northeast, the factories, the bridges blown, and the unemployment they caused, and what the corruption has been doing to us. So I've already started persuading Nigerians to be patient with us and to try to see us. We'll try and explain at every level what we are doing and how we are doing it and what cooperation we need from Nigerians.
It's been very, very, very challenging, extremely challenging. But for me, in terms of my commitment, my passion, I gain satisfaction all the same. The road's been very rough. Rough because after a certain point, you find that you cannot just do it by yourself. I have had, I still do, situations where I began to think of how to add little value to what I was doing. Ever before, government formally started thinking of this value addition thing, the chain. And the one thing you find is every government that comes on board talks of promoting agriculture. Every government talks about what was happening, pre and immediate post-independent period Nigeria. But it doesn't go beyond that substantially. If where it does, there is no management of whatever policy comes on board, there is no consistency in whatever policies are developed to promote agriculture. And more often than not, somewhere along the journey, whichever policy is brought on board, the ordinary farmer, the small-scale farmer is not placed in the center stage of the policies. As a result of that, we've got some distorted, development in the agricultural sector of our economy.
Before now, we tended to talk more, but I believe henceforth we will act and talk less. This government, as well, the antecedents of the present president is well known. He has told us that he would make agriculture the mainstay of our economy. I believe it will augur very well for Nigeria because oil is dwindling and is also a source of a problem. I mean, a serious problem for us, instability. We have a lot of instability in the Niger Delta area because of oil. And the price of oil has gone down such that it cannot even sustain our physical development. But we were doing all these things. Even the oil was discovered using the proceeds from agriculture. If we embrace agriculture and do it well and encourage everybody to look at agriculture as a business, the economy of Nigeria will be turned around and we can live on agriculture. If you take the United States, for instance, they did not discover oil until recently, shale oil. Everything was dependent on agriculture, and everybody in America has food security. And America is the biggest country in the world economically. And even in might, in physical might, I think it's stronger than every other person. And then the thing that gave it all that is agriculture. So I believe if we embrace agriculture very well and invest properly, we'll be able to take Nigeria to another level. It will work again.
That's a program that in the history of, to the best of my knowledge, in the history of agriculture in this country, this is the only program that has an impact, direct impact to the farmer. Within 3 years, we have been able to make about 100 farmers as millionaires. And within 3 years of this program, we have paid about 450-something millions to farmers at profit. The program is initiative of the government. The governor said he wanted to have an impact on the citizenry of this state. That how can we how can we assist him in that way? So we gave him the way to go about it. Through the Farmers Policy Association of Nigeria, who are the farmers. Then we, Tunes, we have the machinery on ground to produce feed. We have machinery on the ground to slaughter the bird. We have every facilities. So if the farmers are ready, we are ready. So, and the government invested about 350 million initially. And the farmers have been able to pay back about 200 or 220 million as of today. So, and the program is on course, and the farmers are paying average of about almost ₦1 million as taxes on monthly basis to the government. So it was an initiative of the governor, and we told him he should give us a free hand to manage it. He allowed us to do that, and that's why the success of what the success we recorded today are being towards that we didn't have anyone that is saying, why do you do it this way? Or Osun is noted for consultancy. So in our own program, there's no consultant. And that is why we are proud to say, not only in this state, we are ready to compete, to challenge anybody who has a better program that is successful at this Osun broiler production, that has made about 420 something farmers are taking part now. Graduates and retirees, they are there. And one of them has made about 18 point something million. Like the federal government intention, if the manifesto of the APC were to put in this thing, they said they want to feed the school children. One of the cardinal points here is that the chicken being produced in Osogbo here is also being used to feed the school children. So, and if the other states were to adopt the same feeding program, they actually need chicken in their menu, they will need eggs in their menu, they will need fish in their menu, they will also need beef in their menu. So, and this is the only way, this part of a program is the only way, but it's not easy, you know. In our own case, we invested more than 9 point something billion in our farm. So it's not easy for anybody to wake up tomorrow and say he want to go and invest 9 point something billion. It takes some time, particularly in broiler, in meat production, and farming. It's not a day, it's not somebody will wake up one day and say you achieve it. But gradually, we will start from somewhere. If any state is interested, well, we are ready to partner, but the problem in Nigeria, as I don't know, because the problem in Nigeria is management. Where do we get dedicated management like we have here? So I don't want to put my eggs, throw out my eggs. So, but because that's one of the things, because the management is a key factor to any success story. So, and it's very, very difficult to come back with Nigeria of today, because everybody wants to get rich on a daily basis. Quick money. Nobody wants any. You see a young man coming out to say he's a consultant. Consulting to who? Lazy guy. It's not there are factories all over Nigeria now looking for right people to come and manage, but they are not available. Where are they?
Well, this automotive development plan is part of the, as you mentioned, Industrial Revolution Plan. This Industrial Revolution Plan essentially aims to increase the GDP contribution of industry. Currently it's about 7% to about 10% by 2017, and then to even 15% later. The contribution industry is because industry have so many linkages. Utilize your local raw materials, you manufacture, you sell, and then some of the things you are importing, you now substitute for the local industry. For instance, in the cement industry, as you notice, we used to import cement. Now we are being exporting. We are using our local raw materials, we are creating jobs. So there are other aspects, other plans like the sugar policy. They just finished the textile policy. So this is the automotive policy now, which the main objectives really are: one, to bring back assembly operations, automotive assembly operations, then develop local content. Why would you want to do that? Because we have potential for job creation, as you mentioned. the assembly plant, then the local content manufacturers who will supply the assembly plants. All these are going to employ people. Second one is we can conserve some of the money we are spending. We are spending about 600 billion naira annually on importing vehicles, spare parts and tires, if you add all this together. And it's already the second largest user of foreign exchange. And you can see with this for volume of crude oil price, we need to diversify. Diversification is to produce more, to reduce the reliance on foreign exchange demand by different industries. So this is one of the objectives. The third one is the raw materials the industry requires: iron, steel, plastics, rubber, lead, zinc, and so on. If you have an industry, automotive industry, you develop this industry to supply those inputs. The final reason is that the other linkages, for instance, the technology you require, the raw materials, the knowledge, the equipment for automotive parts and components will be used for other industries. For instance, you have to get agriculture, the tractors, the harvesters are from the automotive industry. If you are talking about defense, the tanks, the troop carriers, artillery, motorized artillery, these armored personnel carriers are from the automotive industry. In fact, you cannot develop a defense industry without an automotive industry, because the two are also interlinked. So that is the main reason we want to develop this industry.
I'd like to clarify a few points. First of all, the auto policy. This is the first time we've had a very comprehensive auto policy. And even though you say the aspect of financing is silent, it is not silent to those who have been involved in the development of the auto policy and those of us who are actively involved in the auto sector today. Apart from partnerships with our major bankers, we have a 10-year relationship with Diamond Bank, which offer financing to our customers. The range can be spread from 12 months to 48 months, depending on the agreement between the bank and the customers. But the auto policy has gone one step further. There are certain developments being put into place right now. They're in the works, and hopefully before the end of the year, the new credit scheme for locally assembled Nigerian vehicles will be launched. Now, this will give the opportunity for local customers to purchase from local assembly plants at as low as 10% interest rate over a 4-year period. Now, normal commercial banks are going anywhere from 16 to 26%. So this is where the difficulty comes in, the interest rate repayment scheme. Now, the auto policy, it may not mention financing categorically there, but those who have been involved in its development have noted that and have taken certain steps to ensure that there is adequate credit scheme put in place for locally assembled vehicles. This will both encourage patronage and also allow the average Nigerian to access our products. And sometimes I don't like to use the term rich and poor. You can either afford it or you can't. But in this day and age, I believe Nigerians, we have come out from that gap. Everybody is now having access to finance thanks to the entire transformation agenda.
It's a good policy to support the auto industry in Nigeria. With that thing they did, watch out, in near future, Nigeria will be a auto country, because Africa is very large. What this thing we are doing is not only for Nigerian market, we are doing for the whole Africa. Nigeria is #1, so other African countries are waiting for us. So like my vehicle now are selling in other African countries, not only in Nigeria.
Let me first of all say that the policy, the way it is conceived, it has been all encompassing policy that take care of every element in the entire value chain. The customer, the manufacturer, the distributor, the dealer, everybody is carried along, and the value addition to every participant, every stakeholder is clear. And we can see, for example, us now, we are just introducing another product to our fleets, which is a 54-seater buses. It is as a result of this policy that we have gone ahead to introduce new products, which we believe that with this new auto policy we could now compete favorably in the industry. I mean, compete with against the foreign products. So the policy has been very good, and we hope the implementation is going to be is going to be followed through, such that all the benefits we see in the policy will be realized.
The auto policy has been criticized. Those who have put the auto policy forward have been criticized as being against Nigerians, and I dispute that. The Honorable Minister, along with the DG of the National Automotive Council, have taken the bold, courageous step of looking critically at the auto industry and Nigeria, and realizing that in order for Nigeria to move forward, we need to take this step today. We are 20 years late. Frankly speaking, we are 20 years late. But these two individuals took the bold, courageous step to stand up and say, this is what needs to be done for Nigeria today if we ever want to achieve anything significant. The auto industry is critical in the global economic scale. Let's look back 5 years ago. There was a global meltdown, credit crunch. There was a bailout by the US government to the auto industry, over $100 billion. Why? Why did the US government feel that that particular industry deserved a bailout of over $100 billion? They saw the importance of the auto sector. The auto industry, not the auto trade industry, the auto industry is a critical component if we want to take Nigeria forward. You look at the other industries we affect, the steel industry, the oil industry with the petrochemicals. The auto industry can truly transform Nigeria. So honestly speaking, these are two individuals who are truly courageous patriots, and they have no selfish interest. This was truly done, looked at critically before they came up with this policy. And it was not done through consultants, it was not done through white papers, it was done by them taking an active role and doing the research themselves. I personally saw this, and I truly feel they are, perhaps we do not appreciate them as much as we should, and I truly feel that the Honorable Minister, along with the DG and their team, deserve, better respect than they have been getting. They have been wrongfully criticized for this auto policy, and people should actually take a proper look and fully understand the auto policy before dishing out criticisms.
Well, yeah, this is where we draw the wrap of the program. Anything that has a beginning definitely must come to an end. But always remember this: happiness and success has to do with you. If you want to be happy, it starts with you. If you want to be successful, you must think it, conceive it in your heart. Definitely, you'll be a success by working towards all the principles needed. Well, the program Business and Economy Network definitely will make a return same time next week. I want to say again, happy belated 55th anniversary to all Nigerians and to our leaders wherever, and also to your nation wherever you're watching. I want to say happy birthday if though it's coming in advance, and those who has come and gone belated. I want to say thank you so very much for our program. Next week is another day. We can do this again. Stay blessed.